Why not you? You see, that's the question that separates the people who change the world from the people who just watch it happen. That's the question that silences the lies, cuts through the fear, and wakes up the courage buried inside you. Our culture is obsessed with excuses. It's not your time. You weren't born into the right family. You didn't go to the right school. You don't have the right look enough. Let me tell you something. Every excuse is just a chain, a lie, a comfort zone disguised as reality. And the people feeding you those excuses, they're just hoping you'll believe them long enough to stay in your place. But what if you don't? What if you say, why not me? What if you rise? The greatest movements in history didn't start with people who had everything lined up perfectly. They started with people who had nothing but conviction. They started with people who said, I don't care if I'm outnumbered, underestimated, or misunderstood, I'm not backing down. And that person can be you, because you were born into a time that desperately needs courage. You were born into a culture that's losing its spine. You were born into a generation told to be passive, compliant, soft, and yet something in you resists that. Good. That resistance, that's your call. That's your moment. That's the fire inside that refuses to settle for less. So you don't have the connections, build them. You don't have the experience, earn it. You don't have the support, stand alone if you have to. Because one person with truth is a majority. And if you think you're not ready, let me be clear. Nobody is ever truly ready to do something great. You just do it. The world isn't waiting for another celebrity. The world is waiting for someone who has the guts to speak truth without apology, to lead without needing permission, to fight for what's right when everyone else folds. That someone could be you. And don't you dare say you're not qualified. History doesn't remember the qualified. It remembers the bold. It remembers the people who stepped into the storm and didn't flinch. And if you're still breathing, then God's not finished with you yet. Your voice still matters. Your choices still count. Your legacy is still being written. So stop waiting. Stop doubting. Stop listening to the noise that says you're not enough. Because the truth is, you are the answer someone's been praying for. You are the solution to a problem this world is facing. You are the spark that could ignite something unstoppable. The question isn't why you. The real question is, why not you? You don't need approval to lead, to speak truth, or to make a difference. That's the first lie this culture wants you to believe. That somehow, before you can rise, before you can build, before you can speak with authority, someone out there has to validate you. They don't. And they never will. If you're waiting for permission, you'll wait forever. That green light you're looking for, it's not coming from the outside. It's to come from within. The people who change the world aren't the ones with titles handed to them or platforms built for them. They're the ones who picked up a cause when everyone else walked past it. They're the ones who stood up when it would have been easier to sit down. They're the ones who spoke truth into silence and refused to back down when the mob pushed back. They didn't ask, do I qualify? They asked, does this matter? And when the answer was yes, they acted. History is a long record of unlikely people doing extraordinary things, not because they were given permission, but because they stopped waiting for it. Think about the leaders who have made real impact. They didn't fit a mold. They weren't always the smartest in the room or the most credentialed on paper. But they had fire. They had conviction. They knew that the world didn't need more trained cowards. It needed brave hearts. They understood that courage isn't about being ready. It's about stepping forward even when you're scared. Now more than ever, this generation is desperate for people who understand that leadership isn't given, it's taken. You take it by stepping into hard conversations. You take it by standing for truth when it costs you something. You take it by becoming the kind of person who runs toward the fire while everyone else is running away. If you're sitting around waiting for a stage, you've missed the point. The mission is the stage, the moment is the stage, your life is the stage. We live in a time where silence is praised, compliance is rewarded, and those who speak up are often punished. And yet, The world is falling apart at the seams because too many people with truth in their hearts are sitting down and shutting up. They're waiting for a pat on the back. They're waiting for the right credentials, the right followers, the right moment. But leadership doesn't wait for the perfect time. It moves in imperfect times. It acts while everyone else is analyzing. It chooses impact over image, principle over popularity. The lie of "you're not ready yet" has killed more dreams, silenced more voices, and buried more purpose than failure ever will. Who told you that you had to wait? Who told you that you're not enough? Was it the culture, your critics, maybe your own inner voice? It doesn't matter. What matters is that you recognize this. The people who walk in power are not the ones with perfect resumes. The ones who have decided they will no longer stay silent in the face of lies. There is a difference between power and permission. Permission is external. It's when the world gives you a platform. Power is internal. It's when you know deep down that your voice matters even if no one claps. That your stand counts even if no one cheers, that your life has value even if you're not invited to the table. Real leaders don't beg for a seat, they build one. Real leaders don't wait to be included, they include themselves by showing up and refusing to. You don't need a title to lead, you need truth. You don't need fame to make change, you need fire. You don't need to be liked to be right. You just need the guts to keep going when everything in you wants to shrink back. That's what separates those who do from those who dream. Everyone says they want to change the world until it costs something, until it's uncomfortable, until it gets real. But the ones who make it through, the ones who leave a mark, they made a decision. They chose purpose over comfort. You will be criticized, you will be doubted, you will be misunderstood. That's the price of stepping into leadership without permission. But the reward is influence. Not fake surface level influence, the kind that comes from viral videos and filters. I'm talking about real influence, the kind that wakes people up, the kind that inspires courage in others, the kind that shifts culture. And if you're thinking, but I'm just one person, let me remind you, so were they. Every voice that has ever sparked a movement started as one person who said no more, one person who refused to blend in, one person who saw a problem and said, if no one else will fix it, I will. You can be that person. You just have to stop waiting for someone else to go first. Because here's the truth. No one is coming to save your generation. No one is coming to hand you a manual for how to stand when everything's upside down. You either rise or you don't. You either speak or you stay silent. You either lead or you follow the crowd off the cliff. The opportunity is now. The calling is now. The need is now. So ask yourself again, why not you? And then answer it with your life. Every excuse you make is a chain around your potential. A chain around your purpose, a chain around your future. And the thing about chains is you don't always notice them at first. They feel comfortable, they feel familiar. You think you're just being realistic, you think you're being practical, but all the while, those excuses are tightening, keeping you from becoming everything you were meant to be. We've been trained, conditioned to settle for less. We're told from a young age what we can't do. That dream is too big, that goal is too unrealistic, that calling is too bold. We internalize the limitations of others and carry them like they're our own. Someone says, you're not smart enough. We believe it. Someone says, people like you don't succeed. We absorb it. And every time we accept those lies, we add another chain, another excuse, another reason to stay small. But let's be honest. The world has never been changed by people who played it safe. It's never been improved by people who sat back and waited for things to feel easy. Every breakthrough, every revolution, every moment of real progress has been driven by someone who refused to bow to the limits others tried to place on them. Someone who looked at the excuses, the doubts, the obstacles and said, no, I will not be defined by that. Excuses sound good because they protect your pride. If you fail, you can point to the excuse and say, see, I told you. That's the twisted comfort of excuses. They give you an escape route. But here's